Raise your right. Repeat after me. I, Jeff Jackson,
I, Jeff Jackson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which
the duties of the office on which
I'm about to enter.
I am about to
I'll be done. Congratulations, Congressman.
Scotty Reed with Gaston County Community Talk, and I'm out here at the swearing in for U.S. Representative Jeff Jackson, who is now representing the brand new 14th District. And I'm talking to a couple of people who attended today's oath of office ceremony. And if I could ask you if you could just introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Virginia Pittman.
And I'm Katie Cordell.
And I would like to ask, why do you think it was important for you to be out here today?
Well, it's good to have some representation that I personally am proud of. Finally, in this county, we've had a lot of representatives in the past that I don't think have done right by us. So I'm very hopeful that he will, and I think that's what he plans to do.
Okay.
And I wanted to be out here to, first of all, support Jeff. I think that he's going to do a really great job for us in Congress, but more importantly, to advocate for my citizens.
And my last question is, what issues do you expect Representative Jackson to prioritize? I know he talked about infrastructure in there, but are there any other priorities you would like to see him tackle in Washington, D.C.?
I mean, there are tons. Voting Rights Act, I would really like to see everyone have equal access to the right to vote, because it is our right as citizens, and we all should be able to exercise that freely. But infrastructure is the big thing. That's going to be what I'm hoping that he'll bring money to Gaston County
For infrastructure. Okay, and you, would you?
I would say also it'll be a little difficult in a Republican Congress, but the Equality Act, the Women's Health Protection Act, and then just safeguarding health care.
Okay.
So I think those are going to be very important.
Denton Benfield.
Mr. Denton Benfield, why do you think it was important for you to attend this event today?
Well, I've followed Mr. Jackson for several years now, since he started running for Senate and through Congress. I really enjoyed the way the man has a tendency to take what can be complicated situations, explain them on a note that people like me can understand, and the way he communicates with humor, humility, but determination, and had the opportunity once or twice to have a conversation with him one-on-one. And you look in those eyes and you see the way they sparkle, the way they burn. You know this guy's not just talking to be talking, that he's bringing something to the table. I'm just thrilled for this district to have Jeff Jackson.
Okay. And Representative Jackson talked about the county needs and the district needs for infrastructure because of how the small towns are growing. But are there any other issues that you would like to see him tackle in Washington, D.C., whether they're national issues, state issue, any issue that's at the top of your list?
Well, this is kind of a generalization, but people talk about working across the aisles. And, I watched Congress a few weeks back when all they were trying, the Republicans at that point, were just trying to elect a speaker. And if anyone can work across the aisles, I believe it's him. We need more bipartisan legislation, and I think people like Jeff Jackson are what we need to accomplish that.
Thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you. Enjoy.
We're with another citizen who attended Representative Jeff Jackson's swearing in ceremony today, and we're speaking to
Allison Drennan.
And what brought you out here? What brought you out here today? Why do you think it was important for you to come in person to attend this ceremony?
Sure. I have been a part of Jeff's event since he announced his Senate run in the first go. I was at his campaign kickoff at Rankin Lake. And so I've kind of followed along on his journey. As a young person in Gaston County, I really appreciate having someone like Jeff to represent us. So I wanted to come and show my support on my lunch break today.
Okay. Well, we won't try to keep you too long.
That's fine. That's fine.
Last question is, now Jeff mentioned infrastructure as a top priority for this district, but are there other issues that are at the top of your list that may have national implications that he'll be working on in Washington, D.C.? What would those issues or issue be?
Sure, that's a great question. So as someone who is a fairly recent graduate of college, student loans are a big thing for me and for my generation. There are a lot of people who cannot afford the student loans, what they took out to get a job. And so student loans are definitely at the top of my list as something that's important, and getting that through and getting that the places it needs to be, because obviously there has been a pause put on that and it's kind of unsure right now. The other thing I would say is infrastructure is important. I'm a Gaston County resident, born and raised, so the growth that we've seen here in Gaston County has been huge, even in the time that I can remember. So I think infrastructure is important. I think women's rights. I think, all of those things are at the top of the list for me. For sure.
Well, thank you for speaking with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You too. Bye-bye.
With another citizen of Gaston County who also ran for office. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Oh, thank you. I'm Susan Maxon, and I did run for the House District 109 in 2016, 2018, and 2020.
Okay.
And I've been a resident in Gaston County for 20 years.
And why do you think it was important for you to come here to Representative Jackson's swearing in ceremony?
Well, I'm just thrilled that we have the new District 14, Congressional District 14 as a new district, and it's an opportunity for Gaston County to have local representation that I think will really serve us well. And I've known Jeff on the campaign trail in the past years and just have found him very responsive to people around him at all levels.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jeff, during his remarks after the swearing in, mentioned that infrastructure is what he's hearing, from a lot of town managers, city managers about the growth in Gaston County, and that it will be at the top of one of the things that he will prioritize. But is there anything else that might have national implications or maybe even global implications, but any other issues that's at the top of your list that you would like to see him prioritize?
Well, of course, I agree with infrastructure. Just driving here, you can tell the roads need some work. But yes, I think that fair voting laws need to be put in place at the national level. We wouldn't have District 14, congressional district here, except for court action. But we need those laws to be guaranteed at the national level so that we have fair voting districts. The city of Gastonia is in 3 different state legislative districts, and it splits up the votes of the people who live there to be almost so diluted that they don't really have a good voice, in my opinion. So I think a new Voting Rights Act needs to be passed at the and that would, I think, have big implications for everybody here. Yes, to be fairly represented.
All right. Well, thank you again for speaking with me today. You have a great day.
Thank you.
We're speaking with yet another citizen who thought it was important to come out today to the new U.S. Representative Jeff Jackson swearing in ceremony, the first for today. He's also having another one in Mecklenburg County later this evening. But we are speaking with
Josie Palamas. Hi.
And hi, why do you think it was important for you to come out today?
Well, I I helped with his campaign, helped with fundraising, and did some other things. And I've known Jeff for years and really, really like him. He's it's just a breath of fresh air, what we needed for this area. And I'm so excited. And I think what we saw last week, we have a congressman that we don't have to be ashamed of. And that means a lot, because some of those people that I saw on that floor last week were, I mean, there aren't words. There aren't enough bad words to describe them.
Now, the representative of Jackson, he prioritized, he mentioned infrastructure for the 14th district. And most people, I would agree, and as a resident of Gaston County, I do agree our roads are really, really bad.
Especially some of the country and secondary roads. Oh, yeah.
Yes, but what other issue or issues would you like to see also prioritized in Washington, D.C. that could have a national impact or, maybe just regional?
Well, I would like to see voting rights. I would like to see the laws that they tried to pass. It was very unfortunate what happened last Congress, and I don't know what's going to happen now. But the one thing, though, that I'm excited about is the younger generation. And they are coming up and stepping up and are determined to. And I just feel like that my generation should have done so much better and could have done so much better and has lost sight of what's important.
Okay. And we did see a lot of young people in there today.
And that was so amazing. I just was so excited because that's exactly what we need to see.
All right. Well, thank you for speaking with me today.
All right. Thank you, Scotty.
You're welcome.
Bye.